Hello there guys, it's Ebird Online and I'm here with the final part of my review from 90 Day Fiance, Season 7, Episode 2, They Don't Know. And so today I'm going to be talking to you about Emily and Sasha, and I thought it was the best thing to have these guys really just for the whole of their review because there's so much to pick over with this car crash of a relationship. So if you're new to my channel, thanks for stopping by. I hope you like what you hear, and please don't forget to press the subscribe button. I'm closing in on 13,000 subscribers and I need help to push me over the edge. Also, don't forget to follow me on Twitter at Ebird99 and give my video a big thumbs up if you like what you hear. So let's get down to it. Emily and Sasha. So as we know, Emily's been living in Russia for the last 3 years and she's currently 39 weeks pregnant with Sasha's baby. And Sasha, of course, is a 32-year-old personal trainer who appears to me to be the most suspect person on this current series. Sasha's been married twice before and he has 2 children, one from each wife. So we meet up with the couple and they go into a restaurant to meet Sasha's first wife. And as we know, Emily's previously referred to Sasha's previous wives as mistakes, and she always says he made mistakes and then he married them. But of course then Emily reminds us that her relationship is perfect. And so as they're getting ready to go, Emily says, we're going to meet Sasha's first wife Marsha, but it's lousy timing because I'm 9 months pregnant and the baby could come at any time. Emily, 9 times out of 10 you do get a little bit of warning, you know, the odd contraction or 2, that kind of thing. And also you've had your whole relationship to meet up with Sasha's first wife and you haven't done so it's ridiculous now to say it's lousy timing. And it wouldn't surprise me if Emily's gearing up for yet another of her dizzy spells if somebody tells her something she doesn't want to hear. And as they're getting into the lift, Emily says to Sasha, I'm nervous. Sasha says, I think I'm more nervous than you. Emily said, why? Because she was crazy. This was a long time ago. And off they go to the restaurant. And then we get a VT of Emily and she's explaining the timeline. And what a story she tells. The brothers Grimm are jealous. She tells us Sasha got married to his first wife and had a child. And Emily helpfully explains it was just doomed to fail. And then with comedic timing, she looks at Sasha. She's a so difficult person. Emily continues her tale. So they divorced, and then a few years later, Sasha met his next wife and they too had a son. And Sasha tells us in the beginning things were okay, but then things changed. He started a new job in a different industry area, and apparently wife number 2, we're not treated to her name, didn't like how muscular he became. As he became more and more muscular, his wife, who remember has a young child at this point, says you're too muscular. It's not what I want. I don't like you. Muscular subscribers. Does that sound familiar? Do us women sit around telling you we don't like muscles? It's not what we want. We don't like you. It's a particularly unlikely scenario, I feel. So apparently Sasha said, okay, I will find someone who would like. And that was me, says Emily. She seems somewhat pleased with herself, and I really don't know why. And then they both give a very forced laugh. And then Sasha says, actually, I knew you before this time. And Emily looked for all the world like she wanted to say, shut the F up, Sasha. And she furtively looked across and then she said, yes, well we did, but that's when we were just talking as friends. Emily, we caught the whole thing. You knew Sasha while he was still married. You conducted your affair with Sasha while he was married. And then Sasha fabricated this ridiculous tale of being too good looking, too muscular, too tall, too much of a perfect husband for his second wife. She wanted to leave him. She wanted a fat slob from Chernobyl. Isn't that everybody's dream? And honestly guys, both of these characters look so super shady. They both actually go to say something at the conclusion of this portion, and then they both think better of it and say nothing. I am at some point going to do a body language tells video on this couple because there is so much juice to be squeezed. The next time we see them, they've arrived at the restaurant. Emily tells us the only reason we're meeting with Marsha is because we want to ask permission for Daniele, their son together, to come to America whenever he wants to visit his dad. And so she's going to have to fake being nice to Marsha so they can get what they want. Emily dear, if you have to be as kind as possible and fake to somebody, you certainly have problems, especially when that person shares a son with your husband-to-be. Being friendly and being nice should be a default. That's how you should be all the time. It's only when somebody irritates you or is a dick that you then decide not to be nice. If having to be nice and kind is fake for you, that must mean your default is being a biatch, and you're really not looking good right now. So when Marsha turns up, oh what a tale she tells. She tells us she was dating Sasha for 1 year, and she was only married to him for 1 year. Whilst she was still married to him, and whilst she had a child, he got wife number 2 pregnant and asked her for her divorce. She was not very happy. And Marsha also tells us that Sasha's second wife was a really nice lady. She was nice and calm and reasonable, and there was really nothing wrong with her. Interesting, very interesting. Fingers are beginning to point in your direction, Sasha. Yes, that's right, middle fingers. Emily and Sasha explained that they wanted to have Daniele in the holidays, and Marsha showed she was much cleverer than they were. Instead of just saying yes or no, she said, I don't understand this relationship. Usually a woman follows the man, not the other way around. And then Sasha explained to Marsha it was his decision and he wanted to go to America. And Sasha helpfully explains he can do more from America. I bet he can. More lying, more cheating, more shagging, and more heartbreaking. Yep, he'll do more alright. And at this point I thought, hats off Marsha, you wanted to know whose great idea was it to go to America, and you've just told me from your own mouth, Sasha, that it was you. Oh Emily, seems like you've told yet another lie, because you said just last week that Sasha was happy to stay in Russia and that it's you who wanted to go back home. Which one was it? And then Marsha was even cleverer. She asked about his 2 other children and she said, I don't understand why you would leave 2 children at home and go off to the US. Sasha said there are opportunities for him and it's for the benefit of everybody for him to go. And then Marsha said, will Daniele be properly cared for in the US? Because although he's Sasha's blood, he's not anyone else's. And Sasha and Emily assure him that they will. And then we tweeted to Marsha saying, where the wind blows, a man flies. His family will not keep him. His children will not keep him. His parents will not keep him. Nothing will keep him. And she's clearly talking about Sasha. The couple ask again if Daniele can visit the US, and Marsha says, well, it's his choice. And instead of being positive about this news, Emily says, well, of course, if he didn't want to go, we wouldn't make him. And in my opinion, Emily, you lack the following: common manners, intelligence, humility, and grace. And just when the conversation gets a little tricky, Emily's back to her old ways. She suddenly says she doesn't feel well, and she floats out of the restaurant. And it's just as well for Emily, she's never listened to my channel, otherwise she'd be dizzy for the rest of her days. Wife number 1 Marsha says America is the next stage of Sasha's life and Emily is a convenient excuse, and I'm starting to believe her. If I look at his facial expressions and I look at the glaring inconsistencies in their stories thus far, it leads me to believe that Sasha is a conundrum of lies. And to help me unravel this conundrum of lies, either this week or next week, I'm going to be collating them all together and producing a video on the shady ways of Sasha. And Marsha finishes up by telling Sasha, the children are going to miss you, Daniele's going to miss you. And Sasha, well, he didn't look too worried. But what I find interesting is this. Last week we were spun a beautiful tale by Emily and Sasha that it's so unfair on Sasha because he's not allowed to see Daniele. He's only allowed to see him on holidays. He wishes he could see him so much more. If that were true, why didn't he say to Marsha at that point, well, you never let me see him anyway, so what difference will it make? You're sitting in front of me telling me my son misses me. You won't let me see him. You only let me see him on holiday. If I'd have had more access to him and more of a relationship with him, I maybe wouldn't have decided to go to America. He didn't say a bean. He just looked down at his napkin like a naughty child. Guys, oh what a tangled web we weave when first we practice to deceive. These two could not lie straight in bed. And guys, I'm going to have to go now because I'm going to start collating evidence for my Shady Sasha video. And that's where we leave the story of Emily and Sasha today. Needless to say, I'm not a fan of either of them. Right guys, that's it for this video. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. As I said, I'm closing in on 13,000 subscribers. Thank you to everybody that's supported me. I really do appreciate each and every person that makes a comment and each and every person who subscribes. And I'm so glad you're enjoying my content. And let me know what you think about this couple. Do you think that they're liars? And do we believe Marsha when she claims Sasha is a cheat? Is Emily A, deluded, B, in denial, C, an idiot, or D, all of the above? Please let me know. And I look forward to seeing you guys again soon. Thank you so much for watching. You've been listening to Ebird Online. Ciao for now.